All right, what's on the bench? We're going to call this chip of the day, even though I don't know what these are. I mean, I know what they are, but I don't have a part number for them. So I don't know. So I used to work in the LED industry at the very beginning of my career and at the very end of my career. So in 1980, my very first job was working on LEDs for Hewlett-Packard. And in the year 2014, when I retired, I was working for Philips making LEDs, which was a joint venture with HP, but Philips bought them out. It used to be called LumiLEDs. Okay, LumiLEDs is now out of business. But because I was always a pack rat scavenger, I was always looking in the trash can, and they threw away a lot of things. And I picked up these one day. And I don't know if these were ever a product. These may just be prototypes. So I don't know if you could ever buy these, and if you could buy them, I don't know what the part number is. I get a suspicion that these were never sold because they look too big to me. They look a little bit on the large side, and they look a little bit on the expensive side. So cell phones, they don't want to pay any money. So what are these? Well, these are the LEDs that go in your cell phone, okay? So if you have a cell phone, there's always an LED in the back that does the flash, right? Or turn it on so you can find your car keys or whatever, right? And there's an LED back here. And it usually has a lens over it. So this one has kind of a milky Fresnel lens on the back. So part of my career was designing optics, and I would design the little lenses that went over LEDs to make it in different patterns and stuff. I don't think I designed this one. I'm pretty sure I didn't design this one, but I designed things like it. So what is this? Well, like I said, it's an LED to be used as in a mobile phone, and it's a white LED, and that's why it looks yellow. It looks yellow because it has a blue LED inside covered with cerium-doped YAG, which is a phosphor. It may have some nitride phosphors and some other types of phosphors in it to make the color better, but in general, the reason these look yellow is because it has a cerium-doped yttrium aluminum garnet, so YAG phosphor. And blue plus yellow, the blue light interacts with the yellow phosphor, it outputs yellow light, and yellow plus blue is white. That's the way it works. I did a video on that. Okay, so let's get a little bit closer look at this thing. So there's a Fresnel lens. I've talked about those on the channel. This one has a little metal lead frame, and that has little metal clips that hold the plastic bit that has the lens on it. So it looks a little bit on the expensive side. So I'll take some photographs here with my microscope, give you a better look at it. You can see the Fresnel structure here. It's kind of fun looking. It's the same technology that was invented for lighthouses. If you ever visit a lighthouse, they have Fresnel lenses. And it has a kind of a substrate that has the blue LED in the center. That little thing over to the side is actually a reverse protection diode. The LEDs don't like it when you put reverse voltage on them. So there's a reverse voltage protection diode over there that's in parallel with the LED. And then it's covered with this it's sort of like RTV. It's a rubberized polymer that has the phosphor particles ground up in it, and that ground up particles of phosphor is like tiny little rocks, and it's spread over there. So the blue LED is covered with this blanket of phosphor, and this particular design looks a little wasteful on the amount of phosphor that's being used. It's only what's covering the LED. All the rest of it's just kind of wasted, but maybe it was cheap enough to do it that way. Anyhow, I do have a lot of them, so I say we hook one up and make it work. So what I did was I took a couple and I mounted them onto a little surface mount thing. They do seem to mount on 100 mil centered traces, which is what I have here. And so let's see here. Let's get an anode and a cathode, and I have current set at 200 milliamps. We'll turn it on and we get a nice white light. And if I hold it next to a piece of paper here, let's zoom out. And I think you can see we get an oval shape, okay? And that's because the camera is taking a rectangular picture. And if you had a round LED, you'd be wasting a lot of energy trying to illuminate the whole scene. So you can see about here, we're illuminating it pretty good, except for it's dark in the corners. And cameras kind of do that naturally. They make the corners dark, and there's a whole reason for that as an optics person, but you don't care. It doesn't matter. Most of the time it doesn't matter if the corners are a little dark. You really kind of care what's in the middle. And so you have these that they illuminate a certain distance. Obviously this one would be illuminating quite a bit. Yeah, so you get this oval piece of light there. Pretty cool. Let's see if the other one looks the same. I would think it would. Why isn't that working? Is this one then backwards? Oh yeah. Oh no, I hooked it up backwards. Yeah, there we go. So looks the same. Looks the same. It's pretty nice and uniform. You don't see a lot of LEDs. You'll see kind of a crust. You'll see maybe a little bit here. It looks a little bit yellower there, and that's because the phosphor is like a layer of phosphor, and the blue light will go this way or this way, and you'll get a little bit more yellow content if it goes that way. You'll get less yellow content if it goes that way. So you probably will see a little bit of color with angle on LEDs. All right. So yeah, so that's kind of fun. Let's go ahead and put one on the curve tracer, everybody's favorite. Okay, here we go. I've got the LED down here, and this is 1 volt per division. So there's 1 volt, 2 volts. Here's 3 volts. Okay, we're turning on just below 3 volts. And let's leave it right there. That's a nice picture. I think you can see the LED is lit up. So we have 3 volts VF, forward voltage, and we have 100 milliamps of current, 20, 40, 60, 80, right? That's our vertical is in 20s. So here is 200 milliamps. I think these things are rated probably at 350. That was a pretty standard, that was pretty standard. So here's 100, 200, 300, 350. And the LED is nice and bright. And we're just a little over 3 volts, 3.1 volts, something like that. The LED is pretty efficient. It doesn't have a slope to it, which would mean it has a lot of resistance. It is a pretty efficient diode, so it doesn't have much internal heating, which is good. If it had resistance, then it would have internal heating, but it has a pretty vertical line, and that's kind of what you want on these things. So yeah, it's looking pretty good. All right, there you go, some random objects of the day. Like I said, I think these might be prototypes that were never sold. But if people recognize these and say, no, these were, it could be that they were some other company they bought these to evaluate, right? To say, hey, we need to compete against this particular thing and we can do better. I don't know. Like I said, this one doesn't look quite familiar. It does seem maybe a little fat, but I don't know the vintage. But yeah, there you go.